Hello and welcome to the 60th episode of the Emperor's New Podcast, where I explore every corner of the Emperor's New Groove universe. Today I am joined by my co-hosts, Jasmine Garcia.
Our main story tonight is, does Cusco rule?
Chandler DeRoche.
It's still the wrong lever.
And our very special guest, you may know him as Cusco's #1 fan, and Spin Doctor. Please welcome Guaca.
Cusco rules!
Yes, he does. So, does anyone have any questions to start off with?
I might. So Guaca, how long have you been Cusco's #1 fan?
Whole life.
Do you have any?
I only stayed in school to be close to him. I'm way smart.
Oh, that's actually really sweet.
Yeah. So what was it like being in school with Cusco?
I'm so starstruck most of the time, but doing his homework and trying to keep him out of trouble and keep him from drinking drinks that have been left unattended. You never know. You never know what you're going to turn into. That was always difficult, but I like my corny jokes. Waka waka waka.
Sorry, I have trouble thinking of
You're good. You're good.
I'm here all day.
What would you say?
Had your head removed already if I was still emperor?
Yeah.
At one time.
Yeah. I think that episode's coming up in a couple episodes. We're going to be covering that one.
Ooh. But yeah, since we are talking about the show, do you have any particularly fond memories from, that period in yours and Cusco's lives?
Oh, the list is long. I love the musical episode we did together, our academy and you, and that was really fun because music is something that is very, very dear to me. I play my ukulele, and that usually gets me wanting to sing. But yeah, overall, I made a lot of friends over the years, including people that sounded like Miley Cyrus. But of course, it wasn't Cyrus; it was somebody else. But maybe it was Miley Cyrus. I don't know.
Oh, so you know Miley Cyrus over in the Empire then?
I knew that she was inhabiting the body of one of my friends, but I didn't meet her.
Okay.
This is
well,
great.
We're gonna have to call someone to fix the fourth wall.
Yeah,
that's normal.
This is an audio podcast. There are no walls. Never mind.
We're actors. Come on.
I mean, was there ever a fourth wall?
Never.
I mean,
on this show, no.
My jokes are so corny, villains tremble. What sound bites?
What?
It used to sound like when I originally became part of the gang, I was actually more of a lazy, toked out kind of dude. And I was like, hey, how's it going? Whatever. It happens. That was me. And then I got a different director and I should have gotten nominated for a GLAAD award because we became much closer the second season. That's how
I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at improvising questions. I should have written some down. Then I would. What was it like what was it like having to deal with Yzma?
Right, that must have been difficult.
Yeah.
She thought she was wise, but I was on to her. She tried to get me to drink something when she invited me to dinner, and I brought my own bottle of water because, why take the chance? When she turned Cusco into a llama, I was like, nope, not for me.
I do that too.
Yeah.
Yep. Besides, it's important to stay hydrated. Potions don't hydrate you.
Not at all.
So one time you were turned into a porcupine, I believe. It was flung at you, I think.
Bad memory. there's a lot of things I was used for. Yeah, taken advantage of, but still beloved, and it's okay, and it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're not just pressing that all down, because it's important to acknowledge your feelings, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, it's good to acknowledge the trauma, accept it, move on.
Proud of you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Myself.
Chandler, do you have any questions?
Hold on one moment. I didn't really have anything I thought of. Sorry. What was? Oh, I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Oh, wow. Cusco.
Okay, but besides Cusco,
Emperor aficionado worship.
Was that a class, huh?
I made it up myself at Santa Cruz.
Can you all tell it's my first time doing a character interview?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
This is fun. Everybody's laughing.
I didn't have the option to do that when I talked to Alan Lee, because anything I could have done would have probably been way too steeped in spoilers.
Because it's not out yet.
Yeah, but once the season is over, that would be kind of fun to do a character interview or
absolutely
something like that.
This is a good test run, guys.
Yes.
It's fun. You're doing what you love, and I love that you guys love this, because when I first joined the show, it was the first season, and the director, she was responsible for, I always give her credit because she's just the best, but a lady named Jenny McSwain, she's done, look her up, and she's done just about everything you can think of that was amazing. Several of my first jobs were because of her. She would just call me in. I need somebody that's teen, because typically where I sit in the voiceover world is, if you need a kid and you don't want to use an adult female, I'm your guy. That's it. So I usually a lot of jobs to E.G. Daily and Tara Strong.
Yeah.
But not really. I've done jobs with them, actually. But actually not E.G., but Tara I have.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it's like, that's where I sit, because I love when they actually hire real kids, because like the kid that played Dash in both of these movies, even when they replaced him, they found a kid that was really, really like him.
They did that for this.
Genuine for this, it was like, wow. And then they were gonna bring this back. I don't know if they were gonna bring it back as a new show or if they're gonna do it in the movie. But the little piece of trivia that I was gonna tell you guys earlier, about a year before COVID, I got pulled in to read To Be Cusco. They wanted me to read. They sent me sound bites of David Spade. I thought, well, JP just did this. Like, why wouldn't you just
JP told me they told him he's not doing Cusco anymore.
Yeah, it was kind of like, well, he's done it more than David Spade. It was kind of odd, and to me, his voice is associated with it more than David Spade at this point.
Yeah,
right.
Even though people, I love that movie. I'm like, yeah, the show went on, and the show took on its own life, but I remember reading, it was the lines about, oh gosh, llama face. It was all David Spade stuff, and I was like, how do I do this without trying to sound like, because JP was in my ear, in my head. I was like, I can't. But it was kind of neat, because I remember saying to them, going, well, I used to be Guaca, and I don't think they end up doing anything with it. I have a couple of my old jobs that they've recently been trying to talk about doing revivals for. Frankly, with cartoons, you guys, in the old days, what sold a cartoon with the toys.
Yeah.
And with this show, there weren't really toys.
Yeah, Disney just, until recently, Disney didn't make toys very often for their shows.
Ew.
I was gonna say, now it's impossible to get merch for anything unless it's fan made.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
I go to toy fairs like that now.
Fan made, or from a show that is not even made in America.
Is that Bluey?
Yeah,
it is.
I love that show. It is so relaxing.
I literally just went to go see. I literally just went to go see the Bluey stage show today. It's in Orlando right now,
Yeah,
and it
we
was
were-
adorable.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Hopefully
They have like these. It's so cool. They have like these giant puppets of the characters that are like these big plush dolls that are
Aw.
manipulated by puppeteers on stage. The choreography is insane. Like those guys are the real MVPs, honestly, because they're having to like pop up and slide down this slope there and jump in to take control of the character's limbs on a whim. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Puppetry, man.
Yeah.
Wait, where is that? It's made in Australia, right?
So yeah, the show is made in Australia.
I think it's a traveling. The show he saw.
The TV show is made in Australia. The stage show is touring right now. It's touring across the U.S. So it's at the Dr. Phillips Center right now, but it'll be elsewhere later.
Oh, I have to get to see that if I can get to because they love. In fact, I calm them down with that show.
I believe it.
ASMR quality to it because Bluey, like
yeah.
At first I couldn't make out the accents because I have family in Britain, and I was like, "Is this not London? Like, where is this?" And then occasionally you'll hear a word, and if they mention like a Joey, like a Joey kangaroo or something, okay, yeah, it. The accents were very muddled to me. It was hard to kind of pinpoint. And then again, when it gets a little more cultural, you go, "Oh, okay, they're not. All right, cool." But in Australia, the difference between somebody from Melbourne and Perth is like it's like New York and Alabama kind of a thing.
Oh yeah.
You really go.
They have not. Disney has not really. They've done a few things with Groove, but they have not done anything really with the school characters or anything to the point that I was just incredibly excited at all when it was announced in the US. For listeners who might not be in the US, it might not be available for you. I'm sorry. That Emperor's New School was going to be on Disney Plus. I was surprised and excited. Because they haven't really done anything with that corner.
I didn't include residuals for new media, so
yeah, I'm sorry.
I guess since
nephews love it, so they will like send me screen grabs and stuff, and that makes me.
Oh, that's nice.
My kids are like,
Oh, sorry. Micah, since I think the character interview idea kind of fell apart, you should probably do a proper introduction for Justin, and maybe have this be one podcast.
Please welcome the voice of Guaca, Justin Cowden.
Yes.
Woo! This is why we edit.
Literally when we started,
some questions down.
Yeah, that's what I thought you had done. Because that's what I've started scripting.
I've never done one of these interviews with other people. So I thought we would all come up with questions on the fly for some reason.
Sorry, I didn't
tried.
have time to do that today.
I
should have.
And talking with folks, especially family.
Yeah, no. When we started this call, we were just like talking for like a good 15 minutes before we even started recording because Justin's just such a cool guy.
Yeah, you really are
already. So
I love
so much fun
love making new friends and stuff, especially in this community. Like a lot of my voiceover community building was with Kingdom Hearts 2, and so they would have these conventions for that, and I would do, and I've made so many friends doing that. And then the only one I haven't done yet is, have I done Ozzy and Drix yet? No. Oh, I did one for As Told by Ginger. That might be ahead of your time.
No. I watched that religiously. Oh my gosh.
Boyfriend at the last season when she went to high school and Darren suddenly wasn't wearing braces and he was Mr. Cool. I was Orion. I was her boyfriend in that, and that was supposed to go further than it did. And then next thing you know, I did like 6 episodes, and then they canceled the show, and it was a bummer. Yeah, because I met a lot of great people, and then they just put all my episodes into like a video that went to Blockbuster, and it was called The Wedding Frame.
I did not know about that. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, I got to sing on that. I recorded on that. I mean, it was super fun. I was Klasky Chupo. I don't know. They don't exist anymore, but they did, Rugrats, and they did all of those shows. Wild Thornberries.
Are they involved with the new Rugrats? Because I know there's a new Rugrats now.
They think they are. I think a lot of the original people are involved. There's a lot of callback. There was one of my fans from the Twitterverse, I guess, she got to pitch an idea to bring back Ozzy and Drix recently.
Oh,
Okay.
And I like,
That's
she's
the
like,
dream.
isn't that cool? Look, and
Well,
I go,
apparently, the name of the game now is revivals. So who knows?
Revivals,
Maybe
but
they'll
now
bring
I'll be the
Emperor.
dad.
Maybe they'll bring Emperor's New School back.
yeah, I won't be the body anymore in Ozzy and Drix. And they'll be like, you know, it's all about your daughter now or something. And I'll be like, okay, so I'll get like 2 lines. Hey, it's fine. As long as I have work, I don't care who I play. But yeah, Emperor's New School, they did 2 seasons, and I started kind of coming up with a concept to pitch a 3rd season to them that I still think would have been a lot of fun, but there was a lot of little factors that they wanted.
Yeah.
They were gotta have this. And I said, I'll keep all of the factors, and it's a strong female lead, educational value. I'm like, great. No, that's fine. This would have done all of that. I wouldn't have changed, but it would have definitely been a shark jumping kind of concept. It would have kept with the spirit, but it basically would have been that, and of course I gave myself a bigger part, but no, it would have been that Yzma finally gets, I'll just tell you guys, I don't own the rights to any stuff. Yzma finally figures out how to get the best of Cusco and banishes him somewhere in time. And so Guaca creates this ridiculous time machine, and him and Jessica, Melina, with Kronk, the 3 of them get into the time machine and go looking throughout history and the future, and they meet up Cusco's different relatives, ancestors or future descendants. And they would all be voiced by, every episode voiced by JP. Be like, you know, there's Marco Polo Cusco, and there's, I mean, none of it would have made historically accurate, but I mean, come on, Guaca is not
that sounds amazing.
Name. It's, you know,
that would have been so fun.
And they actually, some of the guys that I was talking to behind the scenes were like, this is actually really fun. Well, we got to, and then, you know, the show got canceled, and then I ended up going over to do another show that existed later on. I did a pilot for a show called Kid Knievel that later became Kick Patowski, but I got replaced by Charlie Slaughter.
Oh yeah, Kick Patowski.
Yeah, but it was called Kid Knievel, and they had AC/DC's Back in Black was the opening song, and it was the Knievel family was involved. They had, it was slightly different, and writers from Emperors were writers on that, and so they were like, yeah, this would be great. And that didn't work out, but I remember at the time thinking, would they consider this idea? Because and a lot of them liked it, but they said the people in charge are switching over and blah blah blah. But I am down to pitching something like that again. You know, basically, I wanted to have everybody still have a job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I wasn't going to try to have me have all the lines. Not at all. I was totally content with where I was at. But that was so you can kind of see the educational value would have been. You know, they go somewhere in time, some other country, kids might look it up. You know, maybe there's a Napoleon, maybe he's related to Napoleon. You know, I don't know.
I could see that.
Where in the world is Cusco? When in the world is Cusco?
Yeah, exactly. It would have been something like that. The Emperor's New Descendant, or the Emperor's New, I don't know. I didn't have a title.
Something like that.
That would be so much fun.
The Emperor's New Time.
Yeah. So I'm still in the game of pitching some stuff. Obviously the last couple of years sucked, so doing any of that was not really on the table. But now one of my friends is an animator. Look up Dakota Kid Creations on Instagram. He does a lot of caricature work of existing characters called At the Playground, where it's kids dressed up as these characters, you know, hanging on the jungle gym or something like that. You'll love it. But he's an animator as well, and we've talked about pitching some stuff in the future, so hopefully that'll be something that we do eventually.
Yeah. Well, I really do feel like they really should be considering, and it sounds like they at least sort of have been considering some kind of revival of the franchise in some way, because it's so popular nowadays. It really is. I mean, it is probably the best definition you could come up with of something being a cult classic.
Yeah.
Where it was not very successful at the box office, but then it has gained such a following since then.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Like when I met Patrick finally and had a conversation, my wife's cousin and he are best friends. And so we were at of all terrible places. We were at a funeral, and my wife, I don't know what she was thinking. This is so funny. She goes, "Honey," she goes, you come right now. Come right now. There's someone you have to meet. And I'm like, whoa. And she goes, all I'm gonna say is, you are you killed my father. Prepare to die. And immediately my knees buckle, and I go, Mandy Patinkin? Mandy Patinkin? I'm gonna meet Mandy Patinkin. He's amazing. Oh my gosh. Because I'm a singer too. So he's been one of my like singer heroes as well. So I start plotting my like back up and oh hey, nice to meet you, kind of one of those things. And as I start to turn around, I'm like, Patrick. And it was like, why would she think that was Mandy Patinkin? And so I go, hey, we actually have worked together before, and we did this whole thing. He's the coolest guy. He is just, hey, how's it going? Like he just looks like,
One time I cosplayed as Kronk and I got a wig, and before I shaved, I kind of looked like Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy with the beard or without the beard, either way. Yeah, no, but my wife, I didn't want to embarrass her, but she kept pushing it. She kept going, oh, we love The Princess Bride. And I go,
I wasn't in The Princess Bride.
Great movie. That's great. We love movies. Anyway, so blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, okay, she's going to get it, go away. She
never got it.
Second time. Oh my gosh. I just love that part. And I go, that was a great movie. And then I squeeze her. I'm like, my wife is deaf. So I saw the sign. No. And she's, I'm like, say it fast. I'm like, anyway. No, it's like, and when I told her later, she was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, how did you confuse those two? And then I saw a picture of Mandy Patinkin recently, and I went, oh, I guess, blind.
But Mandy Patinkin does not do the safety video for Soren.
No.
Nice work.
That's amazing.
From what I heard, that was originally supposed to be John Travolta, and then the Imagineers just loved The Emperor's New Groove so much, and we're like, no, we have to get Patrick.
And John Travolta couldn't do it because of scheduling conflicts as well, I think.
Oh, that's right. And Patrick ended up later doing a Funny or Die sketch. I believe that was actually directed by Scott Gardner of Podcast The Ride for Funny or Die coaster safety video that just like quickly spirals into like just insanity, and it's great.
Yeah,
because you get these guys in a room for a second and let them go free reign, and it's like
I mean Scott was like total, from what I heard, my friend Dave was telling me about this. Scott was like totally nerding out because Patrick's like, I've done one of these videos before, and he's like, yeah, I know, that's why we wanted you for this.
Oh,
it's because he did Soren.
When they have good, when they're like he has really, he's just a good he's a good guy, but he's good, right? Great sense of humor, and
he's so funny.
Seriously, I think that's what's so funny is like that he looks like has that thing, but no, he loves doing it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, he seemed like the type that really enjoys what he does, so that's really great.
Voiceover world, for the most part, I don't think I've ever met anybody that I was like, why are you doing this? No, they're all just fun, loving. It's like I said, it's like being at a family reunion or being in detention when everybody's there. That's why they had to start recording everybody separately.
That was
the first room I was ever in. Jim Cummings, Jeff Bennett, Rob Paulson,
Pat gosh,
Phil Lamar.
I also met
Tasia and Cree Summer came in once in a while, but like when you have all of them in the room at the same time, they're throwing paper airplanes. They're like,
I love
it's
that.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Full education, like right out the barrel, and I just love all these guys. And me and Rob and I call him Uncle Rob. We've stayed close, ever since. And I'm sure if I caught up, and I see Phil every once in a blue moon, but all of them, and just the guest stars that would come in. I think we had Tim Curry once.
Oh, that's cool.
I couldn't talk.
Who could?
Danny, do you guys know who Danny Bonaducci is?
The name sounds vaguely familiar.
There was a show called The Partridge Family, and he was on that show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That guy took me out to the Cheesecake Factory and bought me too many of these weird, sweet tasting drinks that had too much,
vitamin A in there, and I had to like sit and read magazines for like 3 hours before I could drive home. It was like
Oh my gosh.
I have one of these. I'm like, okay, but no.
Sounds like a party.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean, it was like thing was like this, like downtown Disney kind of size drink.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it was like pink lemonade with something else inside. I don't know. I was happy, but it's one of those ones where you're just eating, you're talking. Oh yeah, this is great. Oh, I'm fine. I'll be back. I go to the bathroom, and you just fall over because you don't realize it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those.
This point when you get one of those where you can't taste anything and then it just hits you. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's starting to hit.
Island iced tea.
Yes.
I went to Benihana and had like 4 of those in a row when I turned 21. I was like, oh, these are great, whatever. And healed over. I was like,
On my
I'm
birthday
extra
this
sensitive,
year.
so I don't think I've ever gotten like drunk, but I have felt ill from having just a little amount of alcohol in the past.
For when we went to go,
it's a lot of empty calories, you guys. I haven't drank in 2 months or something like that. I lost 20 pounds. Jeez. Like I was
wow.
I won't say
yeah,
just, it takes work, but like definitely helps.
That's good. I will say, as a woman, people always make fun of the girly drinks. Those usually have more alcohol than your
they
average
do.
beer.
They really do.
I
Well,
go-
for when we were having dinner for my birthday, my sister had me get like this green tea shot. She ordered me a green tea shot. I'd never had one before. That is very good, and it like
It's
that
potent.
hit. Yeah, it's potent. It's like that's
I
like
don't nurse anything. Give me something that
It's
gets
like-
me big business, and then I'll get cherry Coke for the chaser.
yeah, it's like peach schnapps and whiskey and some other stuff. I don't even know. Like, but it was good.
Okay, Micah, do they do mint juleps where you're at?
Uh,
We
think-
know them, I believe.
I don't know. I haven't asked
I think
anyone.
I-
They
used to be like
they have a really good frozen mint julep at Regal Eagle over at Disney World
Okay,
with
but
like a
Epcot
ton of
had
bourbon in it.
those
Yeah, at Epcot they have
tequila
that.
smoothies or whatever it was in Mexicoville. I was like,
Oh
this
yeah.
is the greatest ever. It's like, órale! I was so excited.
I really like I usually get the virgin again because I'm very sensitive. Pina coladas a lot.
Always good.
That was always a good decision. Even virgin ones are tasty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pineapple and coconut. You can never go wrong. At Disney World they have like coconut soft serve, and you can do that as a float with the pineapple juice, and it's so good.
There are so many. There's so many things that you have at Disney World that Disneyland does not have because of all of the local rules and stuff like that. But
Oh yeah.
because Disney World is basically its own island kind of a thing.
Oh yeah.
I
Which
remember-
someone's trying to screw, but yeah.
You're ruining vision. Freaking DeSantis. Oh my gosh. I'm joking. I don't get that. I just think it's funny because originally the plan for Epcot was supposed to be like a city, like
Right,
Yeah.
it was supposed to be an actual city.
Yeah.
like apartments and everything. Like it was. I think that if you want like the Tomorrowland stuff to come back to being really cool again, because we've gotten so advanced in technology, go back to the atomic age stuff. Do something a little retro. Future.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
exactly.
idea. Do more
It'd be
retro age
fun.
future. I mean, we
Well,
kind of sort of. I guess the only thing with that is we have Tron, which is technically a retro property, but it's based on the modern movie. But that's
Yeah.
still like that grid existed
good?
in universe since like the late 80s, early 90s. So like you could go with more retro future stuff. That ride is awesome, by the way. It's very fun.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah,
That's all. We haven't
it's very fast. Guardians is my favorite though. Cosmic Rewind is my favorite ride like ever.
At Disney.
No, what's that?
So good. That replaced Universe of Energy over at Epcot, and it's like Space Mountain crossed with Rock and Roller Coaster on crack.
Oh, is
It's
it in the middle
amazing.
where the ball is? Is that where it is?
It replaced Universe of Energy, so the Ellen DeGeneres ride with the dinosaurs is gone. That's now like the queue for that ride
Mhm.
and the
Okay.
load station. But then they built like a whole massive show building behind it. That's the gravity building for the ride. So you launch backwards. You are like the trains actually, like the cars actually rotate. So it's an omni coaster. So you get launched backwards into this ride, and you are like spinning, and there's music playing. Like it's one of 6 possible songs, just like in the Guardians movies. The ride has its own awesome mix. It's amazing. It's so much
it's different
fun.
songs each time. I got Everybody
Yeah.
Wants to Rule the World, which I was delighted.
That's the best
by.
song. That is the best song. Everybody Wants to Rule the World, one way or another. Conga, September, Disco Inferno, and Iran are the 6 songs.
Amazing.
I love when they do a ride like that where it always makes it a little different. My first experience of that was Indiana.
Oh yeah,
out here, and I guess they're trying to redo that ride right now and make it a little better because it was breaking down a lot. But
oh yeah, they updated it recently, and the updates are amazing. Like they added a couple new effects, which are really cool. I don't want to spoil them if you haven't been on it yet, but it's great.
on it. But now, do you guys have Indiana Jones in Florida?
No.
We do not.
Dinosaur.
We have Dinosaur, which is very similar.
So it's probably the same.
Similar ride system, way more of a meme. Still fun, but not quite as good.
Yeah.
Oh, we were like, again, you go back to like what you guys have, what we don't have, because city councils get mad and don't want Disney to overstretch. Is the reason why we don't have Westcott. And the Epcot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have California Adventure, which
Well, and I think that was too expensive too. Was the other problem.
oh yeah, but they have a few chips.
And it was the Pressler era, so
I will say this about
people complain about Bob Chapek. I'm like, Pressler was way worse. Just gonna throw that
Yeah.
out there.
But Eisner would swing for the fences. Like he didn't always hit a homer, but he'd always point a shot. You go, that looks like it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh well, now fronted. Okay, great. But still,
Oh yeah.
some of the stuff that he shot for, and you go, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, I won't say they blew their wad on Star Wars and Marvel because they didn't. Those are very good long term, investments. But they need to put some other people in charge because some stuff is terrible now. That's
Cough,
me
live action remakes. Cough. You know what we need instead of live action remakes? We need Muppet remakes. That's what we need.
Agree wholeheartedly. They had a Muppet Show out here, and you go into the whole Muppet Show, and I don't know if they got rid of it or if it's just being redone.
They
Muppet
did.
Vision? Yeah, unfortunately, that fell victim to an Arendelian invasion, but it's still open in Florida.
I'm like, and then speaking of Arendelian invasion, I liked the Maelstrom ride. That one made me
Yeah.
I miss it. Frozen Ever After is super overrated. I do quite like Frozen, but
beautiful. But there was something about the guy at the end that would sit there when your boat would arrive and go, "Now watch a small film about Norway."
Yep.
You're like, what am I doing? I thought I was getting sucked into like learning about timeshares because I was like, wait, where am I going now?
That's the Epcot experience.
Yeah.
Give it to Disney too.
I mean, they still
try to
sell
sneak that in.
timeshares, but they
Yeah.
still sell timeshares.
It's still everywhere.
You look me in the eye and tell me they wouldn't try to sneak that into one of the rides.
Oh yeah.
You can't. You can't.
Disney.
Hey,
it's
Disney
my
Vacation
stock
Club
sucks right
membership, you get a 20% discount on merchandise.
Ugh.
my stock sucks so badly with Disney right now. It had peaked really high and the shares are down like $100. And I just remember thinking, are you guys going to start advertising for like Chico's bail bonds on the walls in Disney World? Like, seriously, like, are we really cutting that many corners? $30 for parking out here. And
Oh my
it was
God,
$20,
yeah.
right before I'm going, oh, this is what they're going to do. They're going to start adding 50 cents here and there. And you have a pass. It sucks because you have to make a reservation. You can't just go, hey, the spontaneity of having a pass, like, want to go hang out at Main Street? Like, can't do that. You have
It's
to.
not that bad here in Florida, but
you
apparently
show up,
it still
you don't show
really
up, they
sucks at
put you in jail.
Disneyland. Yeah.
They put you in Disney.
Yeah, they have that stupid no-show policy, which they don't have here in Florida. I don't know why. I guess maybe because Disneyland has such a higher annual pass base. But I'm like, that's part of the thing, though. Is I'm like, these are
talking about
local
expanding.
parks. You're trying to change that, and it's a part of their DNA. It's not that simple.
Do you guys have Star Wars Land there?
We do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
You guys like it?
I mean, I haven't
Oh,
been
that's
to
great.
it,
I
but
love
it is in Florida.
I
Yeah.
really quite like it. Rise of the Resistance was
Right.
about as shocking as I
I'm
had heard.
just frustrated because they seem to have really cut back on a lot of the entertainment they were supposed to have in the land, which I feel like everyone was like, yeah, it's inevitable that's going to happen. But I'm like, the whole, Avengers Campus isn't like that. Avengers Campus is still awesome. So I'm like, why do we not have...
ramping it up? Yeah.
Yeah, why do we not have more entertainment at Galaxy's Edge? I know why. It's because they want to have all of that be on the Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't afford to do the Star Cruiser. And even if I could, I would rather go take a real cruise in the ocean instead of a space cruise that is near my house.
The Star Cruise, to me, it was as if people weren't paying attention to what IP that they were holding on to. That's more of a Star Trek kind of a thing.
You know what?
And they almost did that. That was something they were going to do in Vegas, only it wouldn't have been a hotel. It would have been an attraction, because where it was, it was going to be the new anchor attraction of Fremont Street. But they wanted to have it be in addition to, obviously, all the hotels and everything that were already there. So they were going to build like a life-size recreation of the Enterprise.
Was that part of the Star Trek
experience? I watched that video. I watched that.
So that was what they were going to do. And then that got canceled in favor of something different, which was going to be the Fremont Street experience,
which was great. And then they got it. Then it left, and now that hotel.
I missed that so much. That was so cool. I did a whole video about it, talking about that, because it was so cool.
Loved it, and I remember Quark's bar and everything was like.
Yes. Oh man, I missed that place. It was great.
Real Kling. I mean, these guys had to do their research. If you're going to be a face, you had to know your stuff. But I loved it so much. And then I went back after it left, and it's not even a Hilton anymore. It's like the hotel that humanity will hide out in during the zombie apocalypse now. Like
the Westgate.
A cardboard sign that says, "A Prince tribute band is playing here." You go, what?
Okay.
Yeah, yep. And that whole area that used to be the Star Trek experience is now where they sell Westgate timeshares.
Yes, absolutely.
Yay.
Blew my mind. This would be a great podcast, by the way, just, talking about fun parks and stuff as well, because that's...
Oh, yeah. I think the only reason why I didn't end up doing a theme park podcast is because I feel like that market is really oversaturated, whereas nobody was doing a podcast about Disney television animation shows. So.
Except for one show.
One
show.
One show, yeah.
No, I love that you guys are doing this one, because I'm starting to... when I did the cartoons at the time, I remember thinking, no one's watching this. It's not as popular. They didn't have all of the platforms. Disney XD had not come out yet, actually.
Yeah.
And so even that, and now everybody's watching these, and I'm hoping, like I said, some kind of revival I can get. I don't even have to play the same character. I don't care. I just want to be involved. That's, you know what I mean?
You clearly have a lot of love for this franchise. Like,
give us the Emperor's New School reunion.
To be a waiter, I was like, yay! I want to get up at 11 and drink coffee and do Jack and then record, and it's wonderful.
That was one idea I had, was the Emperor's New School reunion.
I'm older now, but I've had plastic surgery.
Guaca with Botox is like,
oh God.
Let's go rules.
I remember when they first showed me what he looked like. I was like, what does he look like? Because I hadn't seen, and so one of the animators came out and started to draw it a little bit. And I go, it's like Fred Flintstone, like a Hispanic Fred Flintstone. And it was just,
oh my God. I can't see it now.
Yeah, you see like the hair, the sideways hair. Yeah. But so I'd have to always point it out when they would do the opening credits, because the camera backs out and you see more of the character. Like, oh, there's me.
There I am, Gary. There I am.
There I am, Gary. There I am. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I don't know. Are all the episodes playing right now?
All the episodes are on Disney Plus in the States. Yes.
Yeah.
All 52.
You guys want to hear another funny story about?
Of course.
IMDb, and somebody just, they let people fiddle with it. I watched my star meter like tumble, and I'm like, what happened? And so I go and look, and I'm like, where's Emperor's New School? And so I look and I find it on my list of credits, and it says miscellaneous, uncredited. I'm like, what?
No.
And it says Emperor's New School, and I click on Guaca, and it says Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah.
And I went,
I remember that.
Yeah. It doesn't even sound like him.
I'm steaming. I'm like, what? And so I send them a thing going, I can prove I've done this. If you want me to call you in the voice, I will.
I don't know.
Not his role. He's famous already. Give me my credits. Like it was just
Yeah.
and it didn't change back, but the idea, it actually got switched like twice.
Wow.
After I went, I'm done. So somebody was either messing with me or what. And I love Gabriel Iglesias. I think he's hilarious. I would love him. And then I thought, well, did Gabriel do the Spanish speaking
I
version?
think he did the twins.
Did he?
I think so. That's what he's.
Oh,
Someone asked him on an interview, like, "Who's one of the favorite characters you've played?" And he said, "Oh, I got to play 2 skinny characters in the Emperor's New School."
I gotta look that up now. That doesn't, because it didn't sound like him from what I remember.
Bob Bergen did the
Bucky.
he did the chipmunks or whatever it was, or not chipmunks,
Squirrel.
you know what I'm talking about. The squirrels. Thank you. And
Yes.
and no, for the most part, I knew everybody that had done stuff on there.
Yeah.
I
And
look this up now.
that
bother
one
me.
was, yeah, because I don't know, but I wanted to do it because I can Spanish too, and I wanted to do the one in Spanish. I like doing anytime I can do both. I volunteer it, but you know they usually regionally want like certain accent. Like with Spanish speaking,
I have some bad news.
very. What's up?
Even the Wikipedia says he played Guaca.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
IMDb last time I checked said it was you.
That is just rude. What the heck?
Yes. Oh my gosh! Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
No problem.
You just Googled Emperor's New School, and it
Yeah, and I checked the Wikipedia page. I actually checked. I basically Googled Gabriel Iglesias Emperor's New School. Found it on his Wikipedia page. I wonder if he's aware of this.
Oh my goodness.
It's not like he wouldn't fit into the universe. He'd fit in very well, but
Yeah.
he would. Okay, let's see something here. Emperor's New School cast.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Cole Sprouse. The Sprouse brothers did.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Sprouse brothers did the characters. That's because I was like, that doesn't sound like.
Oh my gosh!
sound like
So
him.
it's got Gabriel Iglesias, Guaca with a K, and then me, Guaca with a C.
Oh, that's
What?
weird.
I'm confused.
I have a friend
Guys,
who's
that doesn't
constantly
seem like a big deal,
miscredited.
but it is something that is a very big deal. Like
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
huge.
bummer.
Ah, I mean, Wikipedia is at least easier to fix.
Yeah.
My friend
Yeah.
Agatha is constantly being credited as someone other than herself on IMDb. She's
Oh,
been
yeah.
on this
True.
podcast.
Yeah, wasn't she credited as like Haley?
Yeah.
She was,
They're
yeah.
not-
It's
They're
like
two
no,
different
they're
people.
two different people. I have met Haley. I have not met Agatha because Agatha lives in Ohio.
I'm
really sorry, Justin.
Yeah.
I'm like going to. I got bigger things to worry about, but
Jail words, jail
time,
words, jail
I-
words.
you know, you get certain credits like in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of
And I
Yeah,
remember
no,
if something happens, I can you guys to like correct people on this.
absolutely,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, that's not okay.
The Gabriel Iglesias feud continues.
Feud continues.
It's like it's almost like somebody went like, he's a chubby guy. He looks like the character. Let's just say he did it. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
Lazy.
I mean, JP Manu doesn't really look like Cusco. So.
You know what? It's called and I love that because it's acting. Like I love nowadays. Okay, so in certain instances, I get why they want somebody who is that to be that. That's fine.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
because there's some stuff that was rotten over the years where people were portraying people in a negative light. Okay, did it to Hispanic folk for years. They did it. Well, Amos and Andy, the original radio show, was two white guys and doing really dumb caricatures. But for the most part, things are funny. Funny's funny, and acting is acting. My wife is deaf. She actually did voice a deaf character
Oh,
on
that's
an
amazing.
anime movie called, I want to say it's called A Quiet Voice or Silent Voice. And she played the lead in that. And I had to be in the booth with her and help her with the beeps and stuff to get her to, So we talk about representation, an actual deaf girl playing
That's
the
awesome.
deaf character.
That's
it's really
awesome.
sweet
Like
that they
there-
let you help her out.
Oh, it was so much fun too, and she got it was therapy because the whole story, you know, how animes get so deep. It was about a girl that was bullied and stuff, and my wife was seriously bullied for being deaf. And then now everybody wants that deaf friend. You know, oh yeah, I can sign. You know, in the old days they were like, ew, the deaf girl's chasing me. You know, it's like
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
so now
heartbreaking.
it's yeah, but she got to kind of work through all that, and it was really really cool.
That's beautiful. Good for her.
Yeah, I'm proud of her. She directs stuff. She directs stuff for Netflix and amongst other live action stuff as well. But just getting her to be able to do the voiceover stuff was very fun. It was a lot.
That's really cool.
Yeah. But what else you guys want to talk about? No, I'm just-
No, it's okay.
I could do this forever. It's like, yeah.
Me too.
I
So
do
excited.
have a question actually, because I have done some acting myself, mostly smaller roles, but even then, what I would often do is kind of create a backstory to kind of fill in whatever gaps aren't put in the narrative. Have you ever done that sort of thing, or maybe have you come up with stuff like that for Guaca or any of your other big characters?
I did not do that for Guaca. Guaca was very, I think he just kind of wrote himself, kind of, so to speak. When I saw a picture, usually I like to look at a picture. If I see a picture, especially if I'm auditioning for something, I didn't have to audition for him. But when I see, I look at the mouth, the way they draw on the mouth, and there's only a certain amount of voices that could come out of a mouth shaped a certain way. If there's no lips or something like that, you got to pull that in. In regular acting jobs, I've absolutely done that. And because even if you're in a small part, it creates more, I feel, more authenticity, more realism when you imagine that you are, even though the lens is focused on one set of people for this particular story, doesn't mean that they're not connected to an even bigger story that you have a bigger role in. So they would know you and blah, blah, blah. And it just makes the interactions seem more genuine and not just in the background going.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Absolutely, because especially since I've mostly been doing Zoom theater, so you really
Zoom theater. I didn't even know that was a thing.
yeah, it's been a thing. Yeah, so I'll talk more about this in the plugs. I'm part of a group called the World's Elsewhere Theater Company. We actually recently did a production of Coriolanus.
What?
We've been it started back during the height of COVID. They've done several
amazing.
They've done several Shakespeare's. I actually did my first starring role in a long time for a workshop. It's an amazing company.
Good for you. That sounds awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, and we raise money for different charities and stuff like that. We're actually a charity ourselves. Look it up on YouTube if you're interested. Thank you.
I am absolutely interested. I want to see this, and I am so. Oh my gosh, what is it called again?
World's Elsewhere. World's Elsewhere Theater Company.
That.
Sorry for putting the plug in so early, Micah.
Okay.
There's another Zoom musical I can tell you about too. There's a Zoom musical called The Podcast Without a Cool Acronym that a bunch of friends of mine did. The musical without a cool acronym. Podcast Without a Cool Acronym is my podcast.
Yeah, I was like, you did a musical for your podcast? That's awesome.
No, I wish. Well, maybe not, but no. The show is called The Musical Without a Cool Acronym. It was originally done by my friend Andrew at his college as a real show that they did in a lecture hall. He wrote it and directed it and played Major Monogram in it. And it's this whole fan-made Phineas and Ferb musical. And then they ended up doing a virtual version of it on YouTube that they filmed it over Zoom and did this whole thing. And it's really cool.
That's amazing.
Was a big inspiration for me for expanding beyond the podcast and making more fan content in general. Was seeing that musical, and they got both, I believe, Swampy and Dan have cameos in that.
Oh wow!
In the YouTube one.
I love that you guys are doing this and the creative.
Yeah, they both cameo in it. Hold on, I'm trying to find.
Thank you. That means a lot, actually.
Oh my god! What Shakespeare? What did you do? Because that's where I started.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. They've done Midsummer. They've done Julius Caesar. Last year, I believe it was they did Love's Labor's Lost, and we just finished up Coriolanus, and that one's actually really interesting because
I've never done that.
Yeah, it was my first time too. It's an interesting show. And
I have a cast shirt. I have no idea where it is.
And initially what they were actually going to do was basically not only is it performed on Zoom, it's meant to take place on the internet, basically.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Unfortunately, we
I
had
love that.
technical difficulties the day of, but our director is working on editing his initial vision, so that'll be coming out eventually. So
Shakespeare's
definitely
fun
want.
to be
Go ahead.
artistic with. I love.
I
that
know.
you do-
there's a local production company that does Gilbert and Sullivan plays every year, and in 2020, and one of the directors just puts a weird twist on every show, and because everyone was in lockdown in 2020, their twist was to make it take place over the internet and be a video show.
I love. I
Like
would totally
they
watch the
did
crap
one
out
that
of
was HMS Pinafore, but everyone was in clown makeup.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, my little buttercup. Oh my gosh! Wow. I did Pirates of Penzance.
The
years
amount of
Ooh,
people that are
cool.
just able to be
That was
so
Samuel.
creative and do basically just whatever they want is so cool. I love it.
I think art should be like, especially theater,
Mm.
and the fact that you can jump mediums and that I see no holds barred. I mean, obviously everybody's like, the big one now is like, Hamilton, go further, do anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's
What if Hamilton was a
obviously if it's
pig?
historical show that's not making a point like Hamilton, you know, unless you were like gonna switch everybody around in ragtime and make all the white people the black roles and all of the black folks the white roles.
There've
That would
been
be
Othello
really,
productions like that, so I mean,
you know, why not? I feel like it's meant to be played with, you know. And like I said, Shakespeare, I'm still waiting for somebody to do, and I'm sure they've done it already, but a Star Warsy kind of Hamlet where they have lightsabers and stuff instead of sword, you know. That would be
so much fun. I mean, they did
That'd be
Shakespeare's
fun.
Star Wars, so why not the reverse?
why
They did George. There was a short called George Lucas in Love that was a parody of Shakespeare. In that.
I loved that movie. I
Ooh.
thought it was so clever. The guy that got to play him, and then the fact that they had like the guy's a mechanic that kind of inspired Han Solo, and then there's the one guy who's always talking with like a British accent, and the other little person that hangs out with him that whistles.
Oh, I gotta check that out. That sounds like fun.
It's no, I think it's probably on YouTube by now.
Probably.
So good. It
Yeah.
is so clever. He's trying to figure out how to write Star Wars, and he's trying to get that. And but while he's doing it, you see like I think the Millennium Falcon is based on the guy. The mechanic has a Falcon, like a Ford Falcon, and it's always breaking down. And it's like, oh wow. And he has
That's
a giant
really
dog.
cool.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We've been talking for
What time
like
is it where you guys
basically an hour now. Yeah, we started at 7, so
Oh yeah, it's 5 here now. I gotta relieve my wife. My children I can hear them outside the and she like she
Well,
goes,
it was so much fun talking to you, Justin.
You're
Yeah.
very
Fun talking
cool,
to you guys.
sir.
This is
Honestly,
amazing.
let's do something like this again. And you guys
Oh,
want to
absolutely.
put in on getting my thoughts on anything you guys are talking about. It's all sounds amazing. I need to be inspired again because literally being locked down for 2 years,
Yeah.
I lost
Mm.
my father-in-law and my dad within 9 months of each other, and my
Oh
dad
God.
were locked down. So I had to wait 18 months to bury my dad. Like
Oh God. I'm
Yeah.
so
all I did was
sorry.
stare at a wall and yell at things and buy impulse buys. Oh man, I have a full replica Green Lantern battery that you put the ring to it and it lights up. I bought a lot of crazy things that probably shouldn't have.
Don't we all?
And
Yeah.
and I need, you know what? And if they make you happy, do it. That's
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, being creative and talking with other folks that are creative, it gets me going. And I appreciate you guys having me because this has been amazing.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. You're
So
Thank
much
you.
fun.
this was a lot of fun.
This was absolute. Let's do it again. Seriously. And I'm going to look
Yes.
up all of the theater stuff here. This sounds amazing. And if you guys do more, I'd love to watch Worlds Elsewhere Theater. And what was the other one,
The
Chandler?
musical without a cool acronym.
Musical. Hold on. I'm going to have to. Musical without a cool acronym. That's awesome. You know, auto dictate is so terrible. It just said, "Do you know Arabic?" No, I don't know. What?
I don't know Arabic.
I don't. But oh my gosh, yeah, that sounds great. Have fun, Micah, editing this. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Like, but you can clip out the dead air. We can be like, "Hey, he answered
Yeah.
that."
Yeah.
If you
That's
need
the
me to
beauty
do
of it.
like fill-ins later, just to call me and I'll just ask me a question. I'll go, hey.
Yeah.
All right.
But thank you for
All
bringing more
right.
awareness to this show. Hopefully we'll be able to bring it back. And there's a lot of
Rooting
stuff.
for you.
Thank
Yes,
you so much.
absolutely.
Seriously, there's a lot of stuff on the horizon, and a lot of it is, I think, I can't say yet. There's a couple of things, but I'll try to keep the internet posted. But you guys know how to reach me.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Eventually, we'll collaborate on something. Sound good?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Anyone
Awesome.
who hasn't plugged anything have anything to plug?
Well, I do a podcast about Disney television animation called the Podcast Without a Cool Acronym. You can follow me on Twitter at Starport97. My YouTube channel is actually, this is the first time I'm plugging this now, has just recently been rebranded from Starport97 to Sunnyland Productions. So that's where I make videos about theme parks and animation and all the kind of stuff that I love. Podcast Without a Cool Acronym can be found wherever you hear your podcasts. So, same places you get this show, I'm sure. What else do I have to plug? I think that's it that I have. Oh, wait, actually, we are in the midst of covering Tron Uprising on the Podcast Without a Cool Acronym for Tron Month. That was supposed to be in April. It's now May. We have not even finished the second episode yet because we had scheduling conflicts. So just stay tuned for that. That is going to be, we're recording the next episode as we're recording this tomorrow. And we should hopefully have that out soon. Stay tuned for episode 4 especially, because that's going to be really cool. There's some other stuff we're working on with that I don't want to spoil yet, but it's really, really cool. And also we did an episode talking to Alan Lee, the voice of Ollie Chen from The Ghost of Molly McGee, and that will be coming out after the last episode of Tron Month. So yeah, go find my show. It's really fun. I enjoy doing it.
I have a few things. Jasmine, did you have anything?
No, you could go first. You could go first. I do have one more thing to plug at the end, but you can go first since I already kind of plugged
I
one
have a few
thing.
things to plug, actually. I have, for those who haven't been, this is like your first time listening or something, I made a documentary that's on YouTube called Beware the Groove, the Making of a Cult Classic, which is all about the history and legacy of the Emperor's New Groove and its expanded franchise. That's on YouTube, on the Emperor's New Podcast YouTube channel. I also have a YouTube channel where I make cartoons, and I'm very slowly making my first couple animated features on this. I might start a crowdfunding campaign so I can get more animators, called Fireblast Studios. And I would also like to announce, and I've announced this a few other places, but I have it on the podcast, so I'm going to now. This, the Emperor's New Podcast is sponsoring a screening of the Emperor's New Groove at the Carolina Theater in Durham, North Carolina, on July 22nd, Saturday, July 22nd. It's free, though you have to go there to pick up tickets. You can't order tickets in advance, but the tickets themselves are free. And that is for the retro film series that is showing old films there back on the big screen. I think that's it for my plugs.
All right, so yes, along with Worlds Elsewhere, I actually am plugging a dear friend of mine's GoFundMe. Unfortunately, she was recently the victim of employer fraud. That was specifically targeting disabled people looking for jobs, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yep.
Man, that's awful.
Yep. So she is on GoFundMe. This is for Shamila Karuna Karan to help pay off her overdraft fees. So if anybody who's listening, if you're able to donate to her, I'd really appreciate it. She is a wonderful person, and I want to fight the people who did this, but unfortunately I can't. So
that's rough. Jeez,
I know.
Yeah.
There's a cold, dark, nasty place in hell. Seriously, for people.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, sorry that had ended at a bummer. So
you're bringing me down, Jasmine. No, that was no. Fuck that kind of stuff. That's.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I do have a happier thought too. I am finally working on my own podcast.
Yay!
It's coming up soon. It's called In Each Retelling, where we are just going to be exploring various adaptations or retellings of works in the public domain. And watch my spaces at Faye Riviera on Twitter, TikTok, technically Tumblr, but I don't really post there anymore. So watch those spaces for further updates. There we go. That's happier.
Yay.
Wicked awesome.
Do you have anything to
you.
plug, Justin?
I don't need plug right now except my Instagram is just Justin Cowden _official. You can find me on Instagram there, and just give me a follow and keep in touch because I'll start posting more stuff as progresses. But like I said, I'm working on pitching a couple of shows, and that takes years. But there are a couple of projects I'm not allowed to talk about yet.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
IPs that I could get trouble for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I'm gonna need to start following
I've done to
more.
make sure Gabriel Iglesias doesn't take credit for.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
We'll
god.
do everything we
Gabriel
can.
Iglesias gets credit for everything apparently. I need to start following more people on Instagram and start actually using Instagram because like Twitter is just such a mess now. Oh my
It
God.
is.
Fire, like I don't even go on there very much except, you know, once in a blue moon to see if I'm tagged in something. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Because everybody, man, because I follow so
The
many.
whole site is falling up. The whole site is falling apart. It
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
is.
And everyone's so mad.
It's really sad.
Everybody's so mad. That's what it is. It's like, okay, guys, I get there's some stuff that sucks, but this is not good for mental health. And when mental health is on the rise, is not healthy. When I say but when the percentages are going up, it's like maybe we need to rethink how we communicate.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't think we all hate each other the way they all think.
It becomes just this echo chamber of negativity so much. Like
Did you hear
so
what
much
else
of
happened?
that. Yeah, it's
I'm
like
gonna go ahead and stop recording now and just
Yeah.
cut at the plug
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
That's where we stop because we want to be